What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a review of basically the 2023-24 season for the Chicago Blackhawks. I do one of these every year for every season since I've been alive. There's a playlist on my channel for that if you want to go check that out. If you haven't already, go take a look at my other channel, Outlandish Games. I do plan on starting some streaming some games on there. I'm thinking about doing some just overall Let's Plays kind of to start, maybe some campaigns. I got some games picked out that I want to do. Whether I do them like all one at a time, where I go kind of in and out of games, we'll see. But I recommend going checking that out because there's going to be streams likely on Mondays and Thursdays. Okay, those 2 days I should be able to stream. Any other time during the week should be bonus. But Mondays and Thursdays right now during the summer would probably be best chance, aside from next week as I will be going on vacation. But we still have this main channel to run here, so we're going to do that. 2023-24 Blackhawks. Worst team essentially since the 1950s. Record of 23-53-6 for 52 points, 7 points worse than last year. And here I said it was only up from here. 8th in the Central, 15th in the West, 31st in the league. Goals for, they were 32nd with 179. Goals against, 29th with 290. Goal differential of minus 111. Power play is 28th, 16.6%. PK was 27th for the 75.4%, which adds up to 92%. And I'm going to steal here from the hockey guy. Power play and PK, when you have elite both, they should be adding up to 110. 92 is much less than 110. That's 18% less, essentially. And so they're a long ways off on special teams. Coach was Luke Richardson. He coached the whole season. He's not going anywhere. The captain, there really was none. There kind of just was a bunch throughout the season that wore the A. You had Nick Foligno, Jason Dickinson, Seth Jones, Tyler Johnson, Corey Perry when he was here. A lot of guys wore the A for the Blackhawks. Connor Murphy. Of course, that's another name I forgot to write down, who was injured for a good portion of the year. But, yeah. Leading scorer, although you can't see it because if I move my camera down, my camera freezes. It's Connor Bedard, of course. 68 games played, 22 goals, 39 assists, 61 points. Would have probably been a point per game if he didn't get his jaw smashed in. Best goalie for the Hawks? Well, it wasn't Arvid Soderblom, so you know it's Peter Mrazek. Surprisingly, only 2 goalies played for them this entire season. 56 games, he had 18 wins, 31 losses, and 4 overtime losses with a .908 save percentage. Why Mrazek wasn't in the All-Star game? I mean, Bedard was great, don't get me wrong, but Mrazek alone should be in the All-Star game for what he was able to do here. And he only had like a 3.05 goals against average on this team. Bravo! Round of applause for Peter Mrazek, because he was absolutely phenomenal. He kept this team in games that they should have no shot being in. Injuries throughout the year. Of course, the Hawks bring in Taylor Hall to kind of play with Bedard, first overall pick to first overall pick, kind of teach him into that role. And Hall basically played 10 games and was done for the year, having 2 goals and 2 assists in those games. But hopefully he should be back next year, and hopefully he can resume that role. Andreas Athanasiou was gone for a good portion of the year with the groin issues. Bedard, of course, got his jaw smashed in, so he missed 6 weeks, and he still put up those numbers. Connor Murphy was out for a long time. Seth Jones and Tyler Johnson also had injuries. And yeah, overall, there was not very nice times for if you were a Chicago Blackhawks fan this year. And I just realized there's something I wanted to put on this board that I forgot, so I'm going to quickly look up the stats of this player because it goes a long way to show some issues. So Athanasiou had 20 goals, 20 assists, 40 points last year. So that's 40 points right off the board. And I probably should put this one on here as well. I'm going to put bullet points. You can't see this here, but I'll mention it once I get down to here. Yeah, unfortunate. But, and I just drew it myself with permanent marker. I'll have to wash that off later. But, young and up and coming. We got a new section here. Usually I just go through like this portion. I don't even mention goals for and power plays. It's kind of just a quick overview. But I want to do an overview this year because, just because of how much there is going forward. We have a lot of young guys coming up in the lineup. We have a lot of veterans on the team, kind of leading this team. I want to give it, although he's not on the board, I was debating whether or not to put him on the board. I want to shout out Jason Dickinson and Nick Foligno. Jason Dickinson he's been extended now. 22 goals in a career year, almost 50 points, I believe. And Nick Foligno basically revived his career, 17 goals, 20 assists, almost 40 points. as well as Tyler Johnson, who's not going to probably be a Blackhawk. He's probably not coming back since he's an unrestricted free agent. But another 17 goals for him, and though he missed some time as well, more than 30 points. He filled in when he could, although his time with the Blackhawks over these last 3 years has been filled with a lot of injury, unfortunately. Young and up and coming, however. Bedard, as already mentioned, 68 games, 22 goals, 39 assists, 61 points. I am expecting north of a point a game next season. Kurashev had a fantastic season. Philip Kurashev deserves a round of applause. Playing with Bedard really helped him. 75 games played, 18 goals, 36 assists, 54 points. Kevin Korchinski, the 7th overall pick in 2022, 5 goals, 10 assists, 15 points in 76 games. And Alex Vlasic was probably the best defenseman on the Hawks this season. 2 goals, 14 assists, 16 points in 76 games. And he got a handsome little extension there as well to help him. In terms of guys who didn't play as much, Nazar, the 13th overall pick in 2022, played 3 games. He scored a goal on his first shot, did not do anything in the next 2 games, although he was very close to getting a second one in that last game of the season. Slaggert was robbed of 2 goals. He had 2 goals disallowed before he officially got his first. In 16 games, he had 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. Del Mastro played the 2 games, no goals, no assists, no points. Crevier in 24 games had no goals, 3 assists, 3 points. And I didn't put it on the board, but Wyatt Kaiser and Isaac Phillips also had stints up here. Whether they become full-time NHLers at this point, not really sure. Kaiser came up; he was up at the start of the year, and then he was down, and then he came up near the end of the season. And then, of course, you had Phillips, who was up near the middle of the season when Kaiser went down. Both were given stints. We'll probably get more time next year with how young this defensive group is. That's what kind of makes me think that they're going to go with Ivan Demidov at 2nd overall this season, which I put in a future down here, likely Ivan Demidov for young and up and coming. He's going to be the first Russian on this. I mean, Kurashev, Swiss. Yeah, the first Russian of this young group. But Reichel, talk about fall-offs. Lucas Reichel in 65 games, 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points. He did play better near the end of the season, but boy, that's not what you want to see if you're a Blackhawks fan. The 17th overall pick in 2020. He got extended for 2 years, $1.2 million. Hard to justify more than that for him, but yeah, not the season you want if you're him. And then Taylor Radish, another fall off completely. He had 20 goals last year, had a hat trick, I remember, at one point. In 73 games, 5 goals, 9 assists, 14 points. He's another guy that had 40 points last year, and he fell to 14. Those 2 guys, what's with our last names, Reichel and Radish, they just fell off the face of the earth with this team this year. And it's not like they were injured. Reichel got sent down to the AHL, and he performed fine. He was fine in the AHL playoffs. He was a point per game there. Fine in the regular season. If his game can't translate to the NHL, he might be a permanent AHLer, unfortunately. And for Radish, he had a good year last year, and just nothing worked this year. He was playing with the same linements. He was playing with Athanasiou, and he was playing with who was he with 2 years ago now? Athanasiou and someone else, in which he was just doing pretty well with. I don't think it was Johnson, but that's fine. But yeah, that's really all I have for you guys. And this one is kind of a brief overview, not as brief as previous years, but what the future holds and what this season held. It should be a bright future for this team. All the young guys we're getting in this lineup. Of course, we have the 2nd overall pick this year, as well as Tampa's pick, which I think it's going to be 18th or 19th. I'm not exactly sure which position it'll be. Of course, you have other guys who haven't even come up, like Sam Renzel, who is, I think, pick number 25 in the 2022 draft. You have Oliver Moore, who is number 17 in the previous year draft, 2023. And, yeah, so that's going to be all I have for you guys in this one. I shall see you guys in the next one. Be on the lookout for some content on my gaming channel. I do plan on streaming my first game. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but I think it's going to be a good time. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching once again. I've said it enough, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.